Hey guys, today we'll be doing hair growth oil, rosemary hair growth oil, and I'll be adding hair fertilizers, different hair fertilizers, like the different hair foods or hair creams you have in your house. You can just decide to mix them, add rosemary, boil them, or just use the double boiler method and you are good to go. So my first ingredient, I use chapter 2000. We all know how effective chapter 2000 is. I also added virgin hair fertilizer, I added hair miracle, I added shea butter. I think you guys know shea butter is one of the most common products. This is my homemade aloe vera. I did myself using aloe vera and then shea butter, and then this is the shea butter itself. I also added coconut oil, my homemade coconut oil, DIY coconut oil, and I always use it bits and pieces so that it will be able to help I won't be able to use it so much because I did it myself. So chapter 2000 comes in two different types. One has menthol or mint in it. When you apply it under your hair, it gives you this burning sensation. I don't know if you've tried it before. It gives you a very nice burning sensation. I think chapter 2000 really grows the hair because I've been using it for a while now and I'm seeing improvement in my hair. I've been really seeing improvement in my hair. My second one I added was the aloe vera butter that I did, homemade aloe vera butter, and it's also very good. It's very soft. It has a funny smell, but it's manageable. You know, aloe vera is good for hair growth. So all these are organic products that I added to my hair. Hair miracle too is one of the best hair foods that you can find on the market because it contains herbs. It contains natural herbs that promote hair growth, that heals the scalp. So hair miracle is something you can add to your hair growth journey. Now, not forgetting hair fertilizer, this Nigerian hair food that a lot of people have been talking about, hair fertilizer. That is what I've transferred into a different container because the tube is very hard for me when using, so I just transferred into a different container. Hair fertilizer is very good. My last but not least ingredient is shea butter. Shea butter has been used for so many years now and is still very effective for the hair, for the skin, and even when you have cold, when you have headache, you can use shea butter. So shea butter is an ancient medicine for both hair growth, nice skin, and I think it helps in healing some type of sicknesses. So then I add my coconut oil and stir it gently so that I have an even mixture. After adding my five hair foods, these are powerful hair foods that when you are able to add to your hair at least twice a week or every time you do your wash day, you moisturize your hair with these oils or these hair foods, they are able to promote hair growth. After I do this, I add my rosemary. This is my rosemary, dry rosemary leaves, and they are very effective. If you want to improve both hair thickness and hair growth, rosemary oil is a great choice thanks to its ability to improve cellular generation. According to one study, rosemary performed as well as minoxidil, a common hair growth treatment, but with less scalp itching as a side effect. So minoxidil is something that is put into hair products like medicines or drugs to promote hair growth, and rosemary has proved to be one of the natural products that contains minoxidil. But minoxidil, when you use it or when you apply it, it causes your hair to itch, but just that rosemary has less of that characteristic, so when you use it you wouldn't really have any itchy scalp. after I was done mixing these products, I then do the double boiler method. I don't know if you know of the double boiler method. So because I don't want to apply direct heat to this, I then put it into hot water or boiling water, so that the heat is the one that is able to convert this solid state into liquid state. People ask if rosemary really grows the hair. Yes, rosemary oil may help with this type of hair loss. If you want your hair to grow and minimize hair loss, you need to use rosemary oil continuously for a long time. You don't need to just use it today and then when you're not seeing any effect, you stop using it. You have to use it for like an entire year, and then you see that yes, your hair is really growing long. People ask that how long does it take for rosemary to grow hair? The research involved treating one group of patients with DHT. So DHT is a hair-related disease connected to hair loss, and the other group with rosemary for 6 months. After 3 months, neither group showed any significant changes in hair growth, although both groups showed a substantial increase in hair growth after 6 months. So it means that you need to use it continuously. I don't know if you get this analogy that I gave you. The two groups decided to use two different treatments, so it means that consistency and then your continuity of using it, you will be able to see results. People ask that, can I leave rosemary oil in my hair or rosemary water in my hair? So rosemary water is just like rosemary oil. You just boil your water and then add rosemary to it. Some people in place of water, they use coconut water. That is also a good hair treatment product. You can use that one to boil the rosemary and then be spraying it on your hairs and when you feel it's dried. Yeah. So how often should I put rosemary water in my hair? So when you combine rosemary water and peppermint essential oil, it will give the ultimate hair thickening solution. You can combine these oils with a carrier oil such as olive oil or coconut oil and use it up to 2 times a week. You can even decide to use it more than 2 times a week. I mean, rosemary oil is very effective. How do you make rosemary oil for hair growth? So this is just like what I'm making. Some people can just decide to use only rosemary and then olive oil. Some people can also decide to use only rosemary and coconut oil. But in my mixture, I have rosemary, coconut oil, and other hair foods that promote hair growth. And I think that rosemary is very effective for hair growth. The reason why I didn't apply the product directly on the heat is because when you do that, you lose the nutrients in it. You see, fire affecting it or coming into contact with it directly alters the effect of the product. I don't know if you get it. It alters the effect of the product, even though it gives it an equal effect, but it wouldn't be as compared to when you use a double boiler method or when you are able to find a way to mix the products simultaneously, so that you don't need to have any excess heat application. So when you do this, the nutrient in the rosemary is infused into the oil. You can either decide to sieve this mixture, or you can just leave it and the rosemary will settle at the top, just like what's happening now, and then you have the down part for yourself, so that you can just scrape the rosemary from the surface and then use the oil itself. So yeah, after doing my double boiler method, I transferred it into a spray bottle. This was where I made a mistake. So I also noticed that these oils were in hard states before I converted them into liquid state. So I wasn't supposed to put them into a spray bottle, but rather into any container that I can use to apply cream in my hair. I don't know if you get it. So when I poured them into my spray bottle, I noticed that when I was spraying it into my hair, the rosemary oil was becoming hard, like the normal hair cream that I transferred into the bowl before changing it into the liquid state. So now this is my hair. I did this braid after my wash day. In one of my videos, I showed you how I was able to use honey and egg for this, and then later braided my hair into 3 So this is how my hair is. I think this is 3 days after I braided the hair. So, and this is my rosemary oil. I noticed that when I sprayed it into my palm, it became hard. Before passing through the tube into my palm, the temperature already dropped, so it made they changed it back from liquid state to solid state. But anyway, it still served the same purpose. So anytime I want to use it, I just need to warm it a bit. But I realized it wasn't so safe, so I just transferred it into a container that will be able to help me just put my hand inside and then just dip it the way I want it. Massaging the scalp is very important. It's one thing we all don't really take serious, but it's very important hair growth procedure that can really help the hair to grow, because it helps the scalp stimulation, like blood stimulation in the scalp. And when the blood is working, it means it is causing the hair to grow. But when your blood is not working, when it's not stimulating, everything will be stagnant, everything will stay the way it is. I've really seen changes in my hair since I started using these products, or since I started taking care of it myself. This is my hair when I braided in April, and we are in September, and I think that there's a big difference in my hair growth. I really feel there's a big difference in my hair growth because of the DIYs I have been doing. So guys, if I have any advice for you, please reduce the number of times you go to the salon, especially if you have this natural hair, because these salon people, they can actually mistreat the hair or maltreat the hair. I don't know how I should even term it, but it's gonna affect your hair growth that you wouldn't really like. So this is my hair length, and I feel it is growing steadily, not rapidly so fast that I'll be overwhelmed, but it's growing. It's not being too slow, and it's not being so fast. It's just the way I want it to grow. So now I'll be focusing on my scalp. I'll be focusing on my edges. The reason why my edges is not growing so well is because I always put on wake up to work, and because I've decided not to braid for a while, so I always put on wake ups to work, and it suppresses the edges. It presses it, so it doesn't give it enough room to breathe. That's why I think my edges are not growing as well as I expect them to. So this is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Do well to subscribe if you are new. My name is NaturalLee once again. Till next time, bye.